Cassidy, and in this week's video I'm going to be discussing my top 10 tips to greatly increase the quality of your YouTube videos. So if you're a YouTuber who is looking to make your videos even better, stick around. Before we jump right into the video, make sure you give this video a like if you learned anything, and leave your tips for YouTubers in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and go ahead and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Let's get started. So my first tip is a really easy, simple one that probably most people already know, but I just want to double down and make sure that everybody is aware that horizontal videos are the way to go. So if you're filming with your phone, which is totally fine, phones have great cameras now, you should definitely just flip it around and your video will automatically look 10 times better. My second tip has to do with the audio of your video. So not everybody can afford a great microphone. I'm using a decent one, but it's not top of the line, but you still want your audio to sound good. So my tip for that is location. Make sure that you are filming not in a wide open space. You want to be somewhere where there's furniture and items to absorb the sound so that you don't get that that lowers the quality of your audio. If all you have are wide, empty rooms that have a lot of echo when you talk, something you can do to kind of muffle that echoing sound is to add pillows, blankets, soft, squishy things, stuffed animals, maybe bed sheets, comforters to absorb the sound so that you get better audio. My third tip has to do with editing your videos, and basically edit your videos. If you are just uploading your train of thought with no editing, no cuts, sometimes that can be great if what you're going for is a really raw, emotional, honest video. But for professional, high quality videos where you're maybe trying to educate someone on something or even telling a story, you want to cut out all of the pauses, all of the ums, all of the bad takes that you might have had, and maybe you want to add in other shots or pictures or anything like that. So you need to edit your video, but no one wants to pay hundreds of dollars for editing software. Luckily, there are a lot of great solutions. I'm going to put up on the screen and in the description some great free programs for PC users, some great free programs for MacBook users, some awesome phone editing apps for Androids, and some great editing apps for iPhones. You can use any of these based on the device that you are editing with to clean up your videos, add intros, add outros, add title cards, and just make your videos look so much more professional. My fourth tip has to do with actually writing the script for your videos. And now you may be thinking, I'm not writing a movie, why do I need to write a script? You need to make sure that you at least have an outline of what you're going to say, what you're going to talk about, so that you know ahead of time before you just sit down and film. That way you avoid rambling and off-topic tangents that will take focus away from the main point of your video. If you're having trouble staying motivated to write down your ideas ahead of time, get a fun, cute, or just high-quality journal or notebook so that you'll want to write in it and it will make it kind of a fun process. My fifth tip has to do with introductions. It's great to have an intro to your video so people know what they're watching and can know what to expect from your video. But if your intro is getting long, cut that bad boy down. Go into that editing software that you just downloaded from a couple tips ago and make sure your intro is clear, concise, and 1 minute or less, or people will click off and they won't even get to the main content of your video. My sixth tip has to do with the lighting in your videos. Once again, we don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on lighting equipment that we might not need or even know how to use. So how can you get good lighting? Well, first, try to find a well-lit room, and if you can't, look for the windows. If you have any windows in your filming location, you want to face the window. That way, any light coming from outside will be on you and you will be well lit. If a window is behind you, you're gonna look really dark because all the light is gonna be in the window area and not on you. Another tip, if you really just can't get the lighting quite right, is in that editing software that we talked about before. Make sure you look for some settings that can brighten up your video. Words like brightness, exposure, contrast, all of these will make you look brighter, and a well-lit video is going to be a lot more appealing to your viewers. And when I say well-lit, I'm talking about the atmosphere or the quality of the footage itself. Using the flash on your camera can make you look really washed out and overexposed, so make that a last resort. Tip number 7 has to do with editing text into your video. Sometimes you might be using text to emphasize a point or to show something that you might not have said, and that is awesome, but I've seen some things that people are doing that make it look less appealing, and that is having text too close to the edge of the frame so that it's awkward spacing and sometimes hard to read, and also the color of the text. So make sure your text is either in the middle or leave a little bit of space wherever you're putting it, and make sure that you can read it with the color. A lot of people tend to use the default black text, but if you have a dark area, it's going to be super hard to read. So if you have a dark background where you're placing your text, use white or a very light bright colored text and add an outline to it to make it even easier to read. If you have a very light background, then you can use black text and even put a white outline or shadow around the text to make it pop out. Tip number 8 has to do with adding images to your video. Sometimes we might have a slideshow or are showing a product and we want to insert a photo. So, similar to the text, we want to make sure that if our photo is within our footage, that it's not super close to the edge so we can see it. And if we're only showing the photo, try to pick one that's horizontal, once again, so it fills up the entire screen. And if it has to be a vertical photo, make sure that either the background is a similar color to the photo so the whole screen is filled, or add the effect where the photo is behind it but blurred. Some editing software will do this automatically for you. If you're using one that you have to do it manually, you can add the image twice, make the one behind it larger, and add a blurring effect so that you get that kind of documentary vertical photo feel. Tip number 9 has to do with adding music to a video. It's always great to have some background music to keep the viewer engaged and make it feel more fun and not too slow. But if your music's too loud, it's going to be super hard to hear what you're saying. So if you're adding music to the video, at any point, even if it's on its own, make sure it's not too loud. A good gauge for this, if you have the ability to manipulate the exact decibels, -12 is the highest that the music should ever be, and if it's under speech, -25 to -30 is what I typically put it at. Now if you don't have control over the exact decibels of the sound in your software, just make sure that the voice is much higher than the music, because it's going to be hard to concentrate on what you're saying if the music is too loud. Tip number 10 is about music once again, and that is to make sure that the music you're using is copyright or royalty free, because if it's not, you will not be able to monetize that video. and sometimes it might even get taken down if someone copyright claims their song. So some things you can do, there are a lot of free songs you can use on YouTube, but those get copyright claimed more than if you go outside of YouTube and try to find a royalty-free song. I will put up some websites here that I like to use where you can download for free music and even sound effects that you can use in your video and not have any copyright issues. My final tip is to have fun. If it's getting too complicated and stressful to make videos, then it's not going to be fun anymore and you're not going to enjoy it. But I think it's more enjoyable when your videos are at a more professional level. Thank you for watching this video. I hope these tips were helpful. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you again next week. Bye!